Hey everybody, and welcome to the third instalment of Conspiracy News with a Curious Bunny. So the first one, this is interesting. Google Earth users have discovered a 400-foot ice ship in Antarctica. Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? Over the years, we've seen all manner of weird and wonderful things caught on camera and immortalised on Google Maps, including a couple of blokes having a scrap and a woman's disembodied legs and a secret military base. Wow, in the middle of the desert. And so we head to Antarctica, where eagle-eyed Google Earth users reckon they've spotted a gigantic ice ship lying on an iceberg. Wow, check it out below. Are you ready for this? This is a TikTok video. Let's get the sound up a little bit. And here we go.
What's our most powerful weapon?
This looks like an advert, not a bloody ice ship, doesn't it? Here we go. To music. Okay. The music was funny. There we go. So you've just seen it. It does bear resemblance to a large ship and appears to have chimneys. It was spotted by a self-professed Earth watchman. Whatever next. You can forget your train spotters. You can forget your roundabout spotters in, is it Milton Keynes? We have Earth watchmen now. Don't you know? Who shared a clip of the find on his YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, I know that YouTuber. I've heard of him, Mr. MBB333. We all know what that means. You look down on it, it looks like the outline of a ship. So there you go. Now, I think I might revisit the one that we did last year during the live stream. We found a monolith in the Antarctic. So let's have a look at that one maybe on the next live. So there you go. That's the first story. Now on to the next bizarre story. Sticking with the lad Bible. A woman says she's having an affair with a chimp as the zoo bans her from visiting him. Yep. She looks like Sharon Osbourne with that hair. Okay, a woman has been banned from visiting a chimpanzee at a zoo in Belgium after striking up a friendship with the animal, despite Riley saying that they're having an affair. Adi Timmermans has been visiting Cheetah, a 38-year-old male chimpanzee who lives at the Antwerp Zoo in Belgium for the past 4 years. During that time, she believes they have forged a bond so strong that they now love one another. However, Antwerp Zoo has now told her to no longer make contact with Cheetah, saying he's already been excluded by other chimps within the group. Come on, what about diversity and all that? So there she is. There's oh God, she's telling him off. Look at this. Look, he's got his head in his hand. They're like a married couple, look. Very bizarre, honestly. Speaking to regional news channel ATV, I love that animal and he loves me. I haven't got anything else. Why do they want to take that away? She finds it unfair that others are still able to see Cheetah with her having an affair, I'll just say. The thing is, though, she could always change her hair colour, put a pair of glasses on, and maybe she could put a burqa on. One of those outfits, and who'd know, eh? Just to go and visit him. Other dozens of visitors are allowed to make contact. Then why not me? Maybe because you've spent 4 years grooming a chimpanzee, love. Antwerp Zoo says that Cheetah's well-being may suffer if his relationship with a human continues and that he just wants the animal to be happy. He's not very happy, does he? Has he got an apple in his mouth? Oh, God, I hate monkeys. People go, oh, it's not a monkey, it's an ape. Monkey. It's an ape. It's the same thing. They're horrible. Don't like them. I'm sorry. I do not like monkeys or apes or whatever they are, chimpanzees, gorillas, anything. They are going to take over the world one day. Look at him. Look at that face. I think I've been watching too much Planet of the Apes as a child, but either way, I don't like them. So there you go. Very bizarre, very strange story. He has to manage 15 hours a day in his group, so when she's not there, she'll be breaking him out soon. Speaking to Radio 2 Antwerp, Sarah Laffert, curator at the zoo, explained, of course we are happy when our visitors feel so involved with the animals, but animal welfare comes first. So there you go. Whatever next? Right, the next one, it's to the metro. Goose, flying upside down, was showing off to his friends, says experts. Right, let's get rid of that advert there. Let's hopefully it goes. No, it's not. Okay. There we go. Look, Mr. Goose. I'm trying to get rid of this advert. It's not going. Mr. Goose is flying upside down. I'm trying to work things out there. Hold on. Hang on a minute. How's his head? Do they turn their heads all the way around then, geese? Anyway, okay. The goose was showing off his moves. He was flying upside down, showing off to his mates. There was some confusion when amateur photographer Vincent Cornelison posted an image of the bird on his Instagram page. He snapped the goose while it was cruising upside down in Arnhem, the Netherlands, in March. This led many users to question what the bird was doing and if it was okay. He assured them the young dark grey-brown bean goose was fine and was just flicking his bean, and was just trying to impress his friends with his new tricks. The manoeuvre the bird was doing is known as whiffling and describes when a bird rapidly descends and zigzags. So there you go. It is thought to be a defence against predators. They do it to brag to their peers, like, look at me, look at me. So there you go. So if you see a goose flying upside down, it's just showing off to his friends. And then we go on to the next one. So here we go. TRT World. Archaeologists discover the source of King Solomon's riches 2 days ago. An archaeology team digging in Israel's Timna Valley think they have found out why King Solomon of legendary riches was so wealthy. Wow, look at that. It's absolutely stunning. It's like Nevada desert, doesn't it? The Middle East, especially the area that includes Israel, Jordan, Palestine and Egypt, is full of ancient artefacts. Much of Israel's deserts have provided archaeological teams dozens of items from hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. One such find, with Bedouin goat herders discovering a series of manuscripts, happened in the 1940s. The texts found in Qumran, written on papyrus and parchment, were later named the Dead Sea Scrolls. They were found in 11 caves between 47 and 56. The biblical writings on the scrolls went back as far as the 8th century BC. So here we go, a Smithsonian documentary. Starting from the mid-60s, researchers have been working there. They discovered a network of mines believed to have been worked by slaves under King Solomon, explored in the Smithsonian Channel documentary Secrets King Solomon's Mines. So they might have discovered the source of King Solomon's legendary riches. Tel Aviv University professor blah 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 has figured out that 3,000 years ago, during Solomon's rule, production at the site was thriving. Contrary to what one would expect, however, the mines were not filled with gold or silver, but copper. Points to indications around the site that suggest mass copper production. I suppose in those days, whatever you could use, something's only worth what someone's willing to pay. So if copper was what people were using to make things with, I can understand that. What good's a block of gold if you can't do anything with it? Just my thoughts. Displaying a piece of black rock in his hands, Ben blah de blah, all of the black material is slag. You slag. It's waste from the furnaces. This is very important evidence for the ancient copper production in Timnah. So there you go. King Solomon's mines was full of copper. The significance of the find shows that copper was available as a most in-demand commodity in ancient times. Nowadays, it is a common commodity, but at the time it was not. The professor goes on, copper at this particular time in history was the most important economic resource. This was the most lucrative industry. So there we go. We have... Do you know, I didn't realise, I know this sounds really, really like, ignorant, but I didn't realise how much desert there was in this area in Israel. You know? I've always felt for the Israelis, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it all, but to be surrounded by all of these Islamic countries when the Middle East was once Christian, no matter how you look at it, it must be difficult. But Damascus, Beirut, there you go. Very troubled area. Soon we'll be like that. We'll be very troubled with, anyway. I'm going to shut up. According to Dr. Mohammed Najjar from Friends of Archaeology of Jordan, copper 3,000 years ago was what crude oil is now, an unsubstitutable and valuable commodity. Because you cannot do without oil, and at that time you couldn't do without copper. The Express points out that copper was at the heart of a radical turning point in human history. For the first time, people were extracting metals from rock and turning them into tools and weapons. The moment was called a quantum leap, as humans started to manufacture their own materials. Copper was the first metal to be worked by humans. So there you go. King Solomon's mines, forget gold. It was copper. Now to the New York Post. Scaredy cats beware. This wild zoo is letting people get up and close to personal with the king of the jungle. Lion Sanctuary, GG Conservation in Harrismith, South Africa, is placing visitors inside plexiglass cages stationed at the centre of a lion's lair, granting animal enthusiasts a palm-to-paw encounter with their menagerie of 77 rescued big cats. We've been offering this experience for almost 2 years now, director of the non-profit wildlife park, Suzanne Scott says. The safety of both our guests and our big cats is top priority. For 2,000 to 3,000 South African rand, don't know how much that is. Oh yeah, which converts to around $134 to $197 in US currency. Tourists are locked inside GG's professional photography cage for 45 minutes from 6:30 to 7:15. That'll be when they're having their breakfast, depending on the weather. Oh my goodness, look at this. Wow. It's not even very big either, is it? Look, it's tiny. She's like, are you going to come over here and kill these humans for me? Because I don't want to do it. You do it. To the husband. Children under 14 are not allowed. Oh, it's okay for 15-year-olds, you know. But permitted guests are encouraged to snap close-up pictures of the lions as the massive carnivores try clawing through the enclosure's acrylic walls. The cage is regularly checked, by an engineer to ensure it can safely carry the weight should a lion jump on top of it, whose weights can range from 270 to 570 pounds. Wow, look at her. And she has chosen to jump on top of it. Wow, you get little chairs. There's little holes there, look. Little, won't fancy them. Stick its bloody paw in or something. Wow. That's mad, isn't it? Size of her. Right, so Commissioned was gifted the cage by a German photographer who regularly frequents the sanctuary. It accommodates up to 3 people and is outfitted by several circular breathing holes that offer the daredevil detainees air supply. Oh, so those aren't holes then in the... I thought they were holes, the gaps there. Oh, right. So the gaps in those bars are where the acrylic are. Right, okay. He's like, I'll get them. I'll get them. Beautiful, aren't they? Beautiful. These holes are totally safe and too small for a lion paw to get through. And while the topsy-turvy zoo notes safety as its top priority, it also gives visitors fair warning about the unpredictability of the volatile species. We cannot guarantee how the lions will react, but will endeavour to ensure you have a fantastic experience. Would you do that? Let me know in the comment section. Would you be up for that? I think we've got a few daredevils on our channel, but would you actually do that? I wouldn't. Things go wrong all the time. Look at aeroplanes. Oh, they're safe until it falls and you're dead. The fans of the ferocious felines have visited the sanctuary of Lionised, the adventure online. Lionised. The whole experience was amazing, one guest wrote in a testimonial. So there you go. Oh, is this the photo from... So the lion cage really allowed me to come up close to these awesome specimens, so much so I could actually smell them. But they could smell you as well, love. Oh my God, look at that. It's on the roof, look. Oh, I'm hungry. Okay, paws and claws. Do you know what? Sod that. Sod that. How many times have human error caused things to not work properly? So just because they're checking, it doesn't mean they're actually going to do the job properly. That could just fall through. It's a roaring good time for the big cats as well. I bet it is and all. Mental stimulation, yeah, playing with their prey. And profits of the cage escapade are allocated towards housing the rescue prize. So there you go. So all you got to do is get yourself to South Africa, stick yourself in a little box and just be, you know, drooled at by some giant beasts, you know. There you go. And you pay for the actual pleasure as well. So there you go. New York Post. Now on to the next one. Right. Staying with the New York Post. Infamous man who married his sex doll is in love with an ashtray now. This is from today, September the 1st, 2021. The guy doesn't even... The guy looks quite... This kinky beefcake. He's a bit of a hunk. Look at him. I'll have some of that. Bit hairy though. Get rid of those hairy arms. The kinky beefcake is proof that love is strange, or at least the very least a viral thirst trap. Yuri Tololoco, who infamously married his specially designed sex doll Margot, I never knew about this, last November in a wedding ceremony attended by dozens of guests, has found a new love match. A giant ashtray he wants to adorn with an artificial vagina. I don't know what to say here. This is a big, rare moment for the Curious Bunny. Let's see what he's up to, shall we? I'm just speechless. That doesn't happen very often. Okay, so his new love is that big black box there. Where did the pansexual 36-year-old hairball of muscle, he's quite hairy, meet his bizarre new love? At the club, of course. Yeah, what club? Although the proudly bald social media star from Kazakhstan noticed the ashtray a while ago, he claimed it was only when he arranged a photo shoot with the butt receptacle during a paid personal appearance at the venue that he discovered he had feelings for it. Goodbye fleshy, lifelike silicone. This daring dude is into hardcore heavy metal now. So, in my opinion, if he's a social media star, he's just all about the publicity. Look how hairy his arms are. Ugh. He's a hunk until I see his body. Got to be a publicity stunt, hasn't he? He's got his knickers on there, look. He's got red knickers and red shoes. Now, we all know what red shoes means, don't we? I have a special passion for objects. They have always been alive for me since childhood. Yuri Toliloko claimed, "This is certainly not the same as a person. These are completely different feelings. This is akin to how a violinist can love his violin, which is 300 years old. I liked it, the smell of it, the touch of metal on my skin. It's fantastic," he proudly declared to Jam Press. "I like the touch of sharp metal on my skin. It excites me. So I think you can understand what attracts me to this ashtray." Rumour has it that Toloko met his new love whilst estranged from his wife Margot, with whom his marital bond was reportedly broken sometime last year. They only got married in November. I wonder whether she cheated on him. He claimed he tied the knot with his dearly beloved, a sex doll he dated for 8 months before proposing in November last year. He's claimed he's been dating the ashtray for a couple of months. And while his new love, let's call it AT, shall we, is older, he's from an age ain't nothing but a number mindset. Didn't R. Kelly sing that? I generally like things with history. I love that this is not a new ashtray. It has had contact with a really large number of people. Also helps him satisfy a once secret fetish for dirty stuff. When I hugged it and pulled out cigarette butts, cigarette packs and all sorts of stuff, I liked it. I liked it when the ashes stained my bare feet, body and beard. I'm still trying to get over them chunky legs. Sorry, I'm just perving at the dude. I shouldn't be, because he likes ashtrays. Believe it or not, his fetish could actually be a real paraphilia, which is commonly defined as a condition, oh here we go, mental health, by an abnormal sexual desires, typically involving extreme or dangerous activities. Just because he fell hard and fast, he's not expecting the AT to give up their hard-earned career as an ashtray. I want to bring this ashtray home, but it still has to continue to work in the smoking room. After all, this is what I like. I can bring it home sometimes. So he's not ruling taking it to the girlfriend stage with AT, and plans to maybe even replenish my harem. However, he's also planning to take the big plunge by gifting AT with an artificial sex orifice. So he's going to give it a nice vag. I think the vag can be placed in a tube, and the tube can be placed in a round hole where the cigarettes are thrown, without a hint of irony or self-depreciation. Meanwhile, the man that's lightly turned a million stomachs with his globally viral shenanigans stressed that he does engage in sexual intercourse with humans sometimes. He just prefers shagging objects more frequently. So there you go, right? I'm not going to read any more. The link will be in the description. It always is. Flabbergasted much. The next one is about the plague. Now, I know we're not supposed to talk about the plague, But we haven't got much choice here because the story is about the plague. So here we go. Plague breakthrough as deadly Brazilian snake venom is 75 effective in stopping the virus. Scientists may have found an unusual ally in the fight against the plague, with a groundbreaking study claiming the venom of a Brazilian pit viper could help eradicate the CV. I don't know. I just... Again, I'm kind of speechless, you know. It's like, is this for the people that won't take the jabberwoony? They're more likely to take some snake venom. They just want to bump everybody off any way possible, it seems. The dreaded Bothrops, oh my God, I'm going to murder that, Jarakizu, I don't know, is a highly venomous species of viper native to Brazil, Paraguay and parts of Bolivia and Argentina. The black and yellow scaled snake grows up to 7.2 feet in length, 2.2 meters, and sports a deadly venom capable of killing up to 16 people at once. When the predator attacks the hapless victim, is overcome with shock, internal bleeding, necrosis and liver failure, among other things. There you go. You know, don't take the jabberwoony, just get bitten by this snake. You know, same difference, all the same outcome. We're all going to just die. Right, where are we now? Scientists study this potent venom as a means of fighting the blah-de-blah. According to new research, a certain element found in the venom can connect to an enzyme found in the plague. And the results so far are promising. The venom compound was able to stop the plague from replicating by up to 75%. The researchers are certain their breakthrough could lead to the development of new drugs against the plague. So there we go. Who needs the jibby jab when you've got that? Honestly, I have to keep checking. I'm not in the wrong month here, and it isn't April. And it's actually April the 1st, not September the 1st. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to one last story and then we'll call it a day. Right then, to the last story. This is quite intriguing, this one. Ancient monument linked to King Arthur is older than Stonehenge. Okay, this was in, I think it's livescience.com 5 days ago, so it's another recent one. A mysterious stone tomb in Western England known as Arthur's Stone because of its links to the mythical King Arthur originated almost 6,000 years ago as part of an elaborate ceremonial landscape across the whole area, according to archaeologists. Excavations this year near the ancient stone structure in rural Herefordshire, just east of the River Wye between England and Wales, show the site was first occupied by an earthen mound pointing to another ancient structure nearby, but that a few hundred years later it was rebuilt and realigned to point to the hills much further south. This is a ceremonial landscape like those around Stonehenge or Avebury, but rather earlier. It implies that this is a location that was politically or spiritually important at the start of the Neolithic. Crazy. Arthur's Stone consists of 9 upright or standing stones that support an immense capstone weighing more than 25 tons. The passage underneath leads to what's thought to be a burial chamber, although no human remains have been found there. The structure gets its name from the legends of King Arthur, who is said to have resisted the Saxon invasion of Britain around 1500 years ago. Several historical events have taken place there, including a duel between knights during the War of the Roses in the 15th century. In 1645, during the English Civil War, King Charles dined with his army there. And according to the website Mysterious Britain, Arthur's stone was C.S. Lewis's inspiration for the stone table, where Aslan the lion was sacrificed in his Narnia stories. It does look like that, doesn't it? I always found that film and those books really disturbing. You know, sacrificing a beautiful, huge beast, that lion. It's very traumatic for children. But then look at Bambi, you know. Anyway, look at the beautiful English countryside there. Absolutely stunning. And yet the building on it, building on Greenbelt all over the UK. There it is. Crazy, isn't it? They've only just really noticed it. I've noticed in Yorkshire, there's lots of weird places like that nobody seems to have noticed. I don't know, you know, like little bizarre rock formations and stuff. So yeah, why only just notice this now? You know. The excavations revealed that the first earthen mound at the Arthur Stone site pointed to the so-called Halls of the Dead, which teams led by Thomas discovered a little ridge over 1,000 yards away in 2013. The Halls of the Dead were originally large timber buildings that were deliberately burnt down and replaced by 3 earthen burial mounds, possibly after a local leader had died. The remains of similar wooden buildings have been found at Neolithic cemeteries in Europe. The original mound site was retained by a palisade of upright wooden posts and was very similar to the central mound at the Halls of the Dead site. But the posts soon rotted away and the mound collapsed. So a second monument was built at the site up to 200 years later. So that's why they changed it then. Significantly, the stone elements are in a latter alignment along with the post avenue, and that is one of the reasons why I think they form part of the latter version of the monument. So the link will be in here again as always, so you can have a good look for yourself. Anyone could just wander in there, couldn't they, and take some photos. Really interesting. King Arthur is now one of the most distinctive and well-known Neolithic monuments in England. Several local legends linked it to King Arthur. However, it must have stood for several thousand years by this time, and most historians think Arthur probably didn't exist. So I think he did. I'd like to think he did anyway. Right then, that's it then. So I hope you've enjoyed these stories today of the Conspiracy News by the Curious Bunny. Or we'll just call it Curious News. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all very soon on the next one. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.